as an artist, an evolving artist, you have to find your way. You got to find your new, how do I share this with others, make that living, and really uplift people, or whatever your intention is, right? So you're always thinking like that. How does that evolve? How does that express itself in the highest way it can,
Absolutely.
So, and it's challenging. I'm not saying it's an
Right.
easy
Well,
peasy.
and the fact, I mean, you bring it
Yeah.
up, and I'm thinking, wow, I've spoken to so many, not just authors, but musicians as well. One in particular,
Yeah.
I think he's got 30 years behind him, and he was talking about how back in like the Oh, like maybe, yeah,
80s,
maybe the
90s.
80s, maybe further back in the
Yeah.
80s. But he was talking about like back then
Mm,
people could actually, go do gigs and make a living.
make a living.
And then there
Oh
came a
yeah, I
point
did.
where
Mm-hmm.
really at this
Yep.
point they're doing it purely
Mm-hmm.
for love of
That
the
was it.
music. And it's more that they're spending out of
Yep.
pocket because they love that. And so they have a job to support this
Yeah.
hobby that doesn't really even pay
Yep.
them, but
Yep.
they do it for purely for the love of it.
Yep.
And even from the author standpoint, unless you're like some big time author, it's purely about the love of the written word. Different times.
Yeah. Yeah, because it really, it's a team that you have to have, and they're not
Yep.
cheap. You've got to have a really good publicist, publishing behind you, all kinds of stuff. It's not an easy nut to crack. Let's just put it that way. But it can be done. And if you have the energy to do it and you believe in it, you just got to look. You just got to keep looking for the cracks. Like where am I going to fit in, and, just get your team to help
Go
out
through
and
it.
blow through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and I happen to know your publicist is very good at what he does. He's sent a lot of good people my way. So
Yes. The,
I know you've got someone very
yes. Yeah.
reliable, hardworking in your corner. So thank goodness for that.
Yes. Yes.
There's
Thank
so many out
goodness.
there,
Yes. I feel
you know,
that's one grateful thing I definitely am
exactly.
grateful for,
Exactly.
and I think, as as an author, as me as an artist, and it's really important to consistently be out there and sharing what you're doing, whether you've got two people watching or 5,000, and I think that it's important to define and refine, who you are, and be out
Yeah.
there. So I think
I
that's
think you're
really key.
exactly right. The more
Yeah.
visibility, if nothing else, it's
Yeah.
good practice for the next time that's maybe more visible, but it keeps you,
Huh?
in motion. And as long as you're in motion, you're going to stay in motion.
That's right. That's right. That's how I was looking at too. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily equate to dollars coming back, but it does give you that practice. It does give you that experience. So when you are on
Yeah,
CNN,
exactly.
you don't sound like an
Exactly.
idiot.
Just a lot of dress rehearsals.
That's right. A lot of dress rehearsals. I know that
Yes,
well.
absolutely.